Welcome to another episode of Us Play Fusion, where we get all the questions we've been being asked, and I normally talk to Nick about them. And of course, we've had a pretty big week this week, haven't we?
It's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
If you didn't realise, of course, this week the beta launched for the game. So lots of sleepless nights for everyone, making sure that all went out on time. But
yep,
it's been going down well.
It just snuck under the wire.
It did, didn't it?
Snuck under the wire for the iOS ones.
Yeah, 11:55 PM or something like that.
Damn Creebles.
I know, they're just mischievous.
Pulling out wires in the server room.
Exactly.
Can't trust those guys.
Well, we've had a number of questions that have been coming through. Obviously, we've got a beta section of the forum set up. We've had a few questions that have come through a few times, not really allocated to any particular person, but we thought we'd see the ones we've been seeing the most of, and you could answer some of those for us.
Let's do it.
Okay, so off the bat, what areas are currently available to play in the beta?
Okay, so at the minute we've got the Mari and Tyrex tutorials, and then there's the big quest area, which is Ashwood Forest. So that's one of two big quest areas that will be set in that forest.
Yep.
And then there's also the Ashwood Crater Dungeon, which is a big mountain volcano just off Ashwood Forest.
Cool. And Ashwood Forest is a huge area, isn't it? Tons of quests.
Oh
in
yeah,
there
exactly. So, I mean, the dungeon is reasonably small content wise, but obviously it has the challenge of the dungeon, and then the Ashwood Forest, or the first map of Ashwood Forest, is about 4 or 5 times the size of that, with lots and lots of quests backwards and forwards across the whole thing, lots of different environments and scenes and things throughout the whole thing.
Awesome. Okay, so what have we got now? It's been seeing a lot of questions about lightstones and how they actually work within the game.
Okay.
So this is quite a big one for you, isn't it?
It's a big question.
Yeah.
It's a big question. Okay, so lightstones. All right, where do we go? Lightstones are available as drops in the game. They're reasonably rare, so you'll get one in the tutorial. I think Gut Smash Lightstone.
Yeah.
You'll get, and basically they're there to equip into your weapons, into your gear, to basically power them up. If you have any physical figures or physical weapons, in particular, they come with a lightstone. It's one of the reasons why they're valuable. Not the only reason by any means, but basically you want to be equipping those to your weapons and to your gear. They're vital if you want to progress, stay competitive, and if you want to be getting the better gear. You want to be competing against the harder bosses. You want to up that difficulty level to get the better chance of more loot, etc., etc. Then you've got to have your lightstones, and not only have you got to have them, you've got to be looking after them as well. So you need to be going through, completing quests, knocking off enemies. They'll drop fragments. These are little grey pickups that you'll see in world. So if you see fragments, they may look like just a little stone, but they're probably one of the most valuable things in the game. So once you've got those, you need to go to your Lightstone tab on your hero panel. So if you hit the little backpack at the side of the screen, go into there and hit the Lightstones tab, and then you can sync your fragments into your Lightstone to power it up. So these control lots of different things, from just the raw power, so the raw damage of the weapon, the effect that it can have on special attacks, so your abilities, the ability to do more damage or take more damage from particular element types, all this kind of stuff. So they're really important just for the core game, for anybody to play through. But if you want to get into the meta game, where you're just you're progressing, when you're at a high enough level, you want to increase the difficulty level, really get the challenge level up, then you need to be making sure that, if you're going into a fire dungeon, you're taking water lightstones with you to quench the fire, essentially.
And of course, they also lightstones have an effect on your toy as well, don't they?
Sorry, that's the.
That was a little prompt there for you to see that.
Thanks, man.
Right.
As far as the physical toys is concerned, the rarity and element type of the lightstone makes a big difference. So when you first plug in, so straight out of the gate, you plug in your electro eel into your hand, then they'll have one blue light. Because it's a storm, it's got a storm order lightstone in it, and it's rarity 1 straight out of the gate. So that will have one light. As you increase the rarity of your lightstones, you find bigger, better ones, which again you'll only start getting those as you increase your gear level by putting more lightstones in them and leveling them up, etc., etc. So this is a whole progression thing. The higher rarity level your lightstone gets to, the more light zones will become active on the weapons.
Cool. Wow, there we go. That was
comprehensive enough.
That was a hell of an answer there, Nick. Well done. Well done. So let's move on. So this question: when will you be adding more to the beta? And have you got any teasers or any info on what we might see coming in?
Okay. Right, so we've already done an update actually. So
I saw it go out today, didn't it?
Yeah, so update's gone out today, which had so that was mostly bug fixes.
Yeah.
So when we first release anything, there's going to be a load of stuff that we've seen internally and got to a nice place, but when you throw it out to a bunch of people, there's always going to be more things. So we found some things. You guys found some things and told us about them. Excellent, thank you. So we've fixed some of the more critical ones of those. So that's going to continue for a little while. Probably the next couple of weeks, we're going to be really looking at what you guys are finding. The stuff that you tell us about and the stuff that you don't. We see a lot of things that you don't have to tell us about on the back end. So there's going to be a lot of that, which will just make everybody's experience better. But in addition to that, we've got so the biggest major content drop is going to be the 15th of March, when we increase the amount of people that are in to the beta, and that's going to come with a substantial increase to the size of the content and the breadth of content that's available. But up to that point, there's a few things that are gonna drop in. Maybe some flying stuff.
Oh, you're making promises now.
No, I don't think that was a promise, Al. That's not what I heard. But maybe some flying stuff.
Maybe
if you're good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what toy functionality is in place already, and what will we be looking to add in soon?
Wow, another tiny question.
I know, another little one for you to go over.
Right, okay, so toys do lots and lots of things at the minute. Okay, so let's go.
This is Nick's big list of cool things toys do.
Okay, so let's see. So you can have the toy on the front end, you can log in with it. There's a lot of VO call-outs for specific things, so either specific quests that they can call out information on. There's areas of the game when you get there for the first time, then your character knows they've been there before, they can tell you about it, so that's there. There are specific areas of the game which are gated to just be toy content specific. So whether or not that's weapons, so there's an area where you can only get into if you have a particular weapon. There's
some flight pack ones, isn't there?
Yeah. So there's flight pack shortcuts where if you'll see there's collectibles around in Ashwood Forest, and some of them you can only get to those areas if you had the flight pack to complete your collectible collection.
Wow.
There's the flight pack hover mode, so if you've got a flight pack equipped to your figure, then you can hit the fusion core button on there to make hover, and then you can use the toy as a controller to move around and attack stuff with the fusion core buttons there. There's the slime attack challenge on the front end, which we will be adding more of those. As the sort of nod to flight before, so we'll be adding more of those in the coming weeks. Let's see, anything else?
Just leveling up, just equipping different weapons in general.
I was going to say equipping different levels, as we talked about your light stones affecting the LEDs in the weapons, but also leveling up your figure. We have light sequences and things there. We get into muddy waters a little bit here because we've got several builds on the go all at the same time.
Trying to remember what's in what.
I was going to say, trying to remember which one's in which one. But there is also a reasonable amount of stuff that's not there yet. Okay, so we've got low health notifications, probably one of the bigger ones. So this is just making sure that Jax or Cora are giving you a heads up if they are, at sort of 40% health, 20% health, basically if you need to help them out. But there's also combos as you unlock it. There's sound and stuff in there to let you know, but big light shows for that. And then when you use them as well, weapon level notifications as far as sound and LEDs for that. when you die, although hopefully that's not happening too often, unless you've just smacked it up to difficulty 10, in which case, fair play.
Brave.
Yeah, brave. Progression, as you basically get through all of the different levels, then you're going to be getting stuff there. Front end stuff, so if you're just selecting your character and they're just on the front end just chilling, so sticking some VO and LED call outs there. If you go AFK, although you're not going to be there,
well, they'll be kind of shouting to the next room, won't
yeah,
they?
well, I was going to say, so if you're on, if you're on Facebook or something, just on your phone or something, and then Cora's going to be giving you stick for not getting on with it, and then card scanning. Obviously, we've got loads of cards, so when you scan the cards, ooh, shiny, this kind of stuff, and then loot as well. So at the minute, we've got lots of different chests and bags and fragments and all these things popping out of character all the time. And so the guys are going to be calling out and making sure that you don't miss any of those, just in case it's gone behind a bush or something. They're gonna let you know if you're walking away from
sweet rewards,
sweet loot.
So just a couple of things then.
A few things.
just a couple.
That's just little things. Okay, and all the time, it only takes somebody out there in community land to say, oh, wouldn't it be cool if, and we go, yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool, and then we get it done.
Nice.
Okay, so this is the thing. This is the relationship. Let us know, and then if we can do it, and we think it's a good idea, if we can do it, then we'll get it done. It might take a little bit of time, but some things are quick, some things aren't.
Okay, so on to the next question. Are we going to be adding more devices to the beta?
Okay, so this all comes down to hygiene things. So we've been doing some specific testing on higher level devices for now. So we want to bring that all the way down, because we're kind of up here at the minute. We need to come down a little bit, all the way down to launch. That's the point when we will be really needing to be at that low level. So all these hygiene things will come in over time. We chucked a couple in today, which will have improved things for specific devices. There was some camera crashing stuff in there for the iPhone 5S. So we'll be bringing them down all the time, and then as soon as we reckon that we're good on new devices, then we will be pushing out to people. But basically, we're going to be bringing it all the way down in the next 7-8 weeks or so.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and you've kind of touched on this one a little bit already, and it's when will more people / non-backers be able to get into the beta?
Oh right, okay. Okay, so more people, let's see, so 15th of March, that's when we're going to be sort of opening this up. This is when it becomes beta 2. So that's coincides with our increase in content. We'll also be letting in at that point are the rest of our backers. So we've got at the moment, so we've had all the people we said we were going to get in. There was an iffy moment there when we weren't sure if the digital and physical players were all going to get in at the same time. They all got in at the same time, which was good. So we've got a load of Kickstarter backers who weren't at the original beta tier. So they'll be coming in 3 weeks or so. And I think then we're also going to potentially open it up to a bunch of people that signed up on the website as well, for the next beta, for the next 4 weeks post that. So, 15th of March is when we're going to be opening up.
So a few more weeks, and then more people will be coming in along with new content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
awesome.
Everybody in together.
Cool. So I mean, that's all the questions we've got. But the last thing I've got here is, have we got any other exciting news we can tell people about?
News. Oh yeah, we can do some news.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we got? So we got. Sorry. Excited.
Just loving it.
So we got the final packaging designs through, which I think
they're looking really cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
We're actually going to put some in right now. So
really?
Right now, people won't be having to look at us. They can look at some fancy packaging.
Oh great. Oh,
so yeah, isn't that? Oh, look at that one.
Wow. Yeah.
That was my favourite.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's some fancy packaging.
Weak.
Brilliant. That's the best bit of this video.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, unless we just decide to just not put them on screen at that point, and then we look really stupid.
Yeah, that might make it better.
But then, well, so we got New York Toy Fair. So this may be relevant to some of you. Hopefully you guys have got there. So New York Toy Fair is a really big deal for us. So that's in New York.
Funny that.
Yeah. So that's in New York. So we've got Tomy there, the guys that are building our figures. We're talking about who our launch partners are going to be. We're showing properly publicly. Obviously, there's you guys that see a lot of the stuff that we do first,
Yeah.
but the vast majority of people don't get to see an awful lot of these things unless they know who we are, they
Yeah.
follow the Kickstarter, etc. So in a really, really big space, we've got loads of cool signage out there. We've got models of the toy, finished models of the toys for everybody to see. We've got all of the tech on show, the game on show, all the cards, finished cards, other things. So everything's there in one
A
big
plethora of stuff.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, one big thing all there revealed, world press there. So fingers crossed we do a good showing for that.
Yeah.
That's
Hopefully we'll be-
why, by the way, that's why when Al's saying like, oh yeah, what's in this, what's in that, I'm like, what's in this? Because we have some builds that's the beta and some things that are offline and have to work for the toy center in an offline environment because Wi-Fi and conference centers, etc., etc. So it's been a hectic week.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Nick. And for all you guys that are right now in our beta, remember, if you've got any feedback, please could you put your feedback in the beta comments section of our forum.
Yeah.
Feel free to talk about everything else anywhere else, but if you could get all your questions in there, because it's the most accessible place for all the devs and everybody just to really keep an eye on those questions.
Yep.
If you're already in the beta and you haven't got access to that forum yet, there is another part on the forum where you can request access, and Crow will add you right in so you can get in there with all your feedback.
One last thing.
Yep.
There's, in addition to the feedback thing on the forum, which is great, I know that sometimes people, they might go, oh yeah, I'll write some feedback about that and keep playing, and then they forget. So if you're hitting any bugs or anything that you want to tell us about when you're in game, there's a notification on the loading screens about it, but some people aren't finding it or whatever. So if you're in the main screen, if you're playing the main game, you've got the HUD all up, and you've got on the left hand side you've got a little cog where you get to the settings menu. It's where you change the difficulty. So that has a scroll on it, so you can scroll down on that, and then at the bottom there's a bug reporting thing there. It's also where you turn on the joystick and where you can swap the HUD over if you're left-handed, all this kind of stuff, which it probably needs a bit of a down arrow. That'll be coming in a later update, so you know it's scrollable. But that menu's scrollable, so right at the bottom of that, bug feedback, send us that. It's a really good place to do it because not only do we get whatever you say, we get some information about your device, which can be really, really helpful. It's how we found out about the iPhone 5S
with the camera.
Exactly. Somebody was like, hey, oh right, okay, it's an iPhone 5S. It stops us having to somebody put some feedback in and then go, oh, what device are you on? What are you doing? What were you doing?
Just makes it quicker.
Absolutely. We get more valuable data so we can help turn things around faster.
Awesome. Thanks again, Nick. Remember, guys, get us that feedback, and we will be back soon to answer more of your questions.
Roger that.
Bye, guys.
Au revoir.